Welcome back into Women's Rodeo World Championship Finals countdown to AT&T Stadium. I'm Haley Novak, joined here with Lindsay Rosser-Sumter. Before the break, Lindsay, we talked a lot about the logistics of this event, but we've got a lot to talk about the history as well.
Absolutely. You know, the PBR and the WCRA saw that women in the industry were very much underserved. So what better companies than those two iconic industry leaders to go ahead and take over women's rodeo?
Absolutely. Let's let Scott Davis, the Vice President, elaborate on this further.
So the Women's Rodeo World Championship started originally the PBR. Sean Gleason had approached the WPRA about producing the championship of women's professional rodeo. I think in time they passed on the opportunity, and then ultimately we felt like, to Sean's credit, you know, he recognized that women in our sport were underserved, and essentially he and Gary got together, and lo and behold, at Kansas City in February of 2020, we announced it on national network television during the CBS broadcast of Royal City Roundup. I guess we announced a fall 2020 Women's Rodeo World Championship.
And I'm here with PBR CEO Sean Gleason and WCRA CEO Gary McKinney. Sean, I'll start with you. More and more opportunities for rodeo athletes, and I know you have an announcement on another one.
Yeah, we're here at the Royal City Roundup. WCRA is giving away $1 million to rodeo contestants. It's the first leg of the Triple Crown Rodeo. There's another $1 million on the line, and we're not done yet. So in partnership with WCRA and PBR, we're announcing this week that we're going to host the Women's World Championship of Rodeo. We're going to give away $750,000 to the world's best barrel racers, breakaway ropers, and team ropers. So we're just getting started on giving away some serious money to some great contestants.
And WCRA has already done so much for the women athletes in the sport of rodeo. Gary, what does this say about the health and the future of this sport?
Well, we hope it says a lot. Our intention is to provide more opportunities for the ladies. We think they love the sport, and we would like to help them be able to do more. And this event we're talking about will truly be open to the world. Through our nomination system, the WCRA, they'll be able to get in through that. Or if they're not a member of any organization, they can show up and pay an entry fee and work their way through the elimination process. So it's truly open to the world, and it will be a world champion.
And Las Vegas will crown even more champions this season, Craig.
The Women's Rodeo World Championship exists to serve what we believe was an underserved portion of the rodeo community. You know, we felt like equal money was important. We felt like paying the most money possible. And at the time, generally outside of the barrel racing at the national finals, the most money paid out to the individual disciplines. And, you know, it was basically built to serve the women of our sport. You know, and I think when we announced the Women's Rodeo World Championship, you know, I think the market was kind of shocked that we were offering that type of money. Over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, obviously the breakaway roping has exploded. Barrel racing was already a huge discipline. We're starting to see growth in the team roping, heading, and heeling disciplines for women. So it really was, you know, if you build it, they'll come, and we're seeing the growth across all of the women's disciplines. So one of the most unique things about the Women's Rodeo World Championship is that we've been able to tier it. We classified each of the disciplines. You have a professional and a challenger. In doing that, I think has supported some of the growth that we've seen, because it's given those people who aren't quite consistently as good as the professional an opportunity to compete with their peers at the challenger level, but still giving a shot, you know, to face those pros. Ultimately, the format of the event keeps them insulated until the very final championship round, where they go head to head with the pros and we've seen some pretty amazing stories come out of that as far as competition and sport. But generally, offering the tiered competition is unique to the Women's Rodeo World Championship. And in the future, very near future, we're going to be announcing a third tier. So it's pretty exciting, and it's pretty unique in itself because of the tiered competition. So my favorite, probably competitive story of the Women's Rodeo World Championship was the second year we produced the event. We were in Vegas, and Rainey Skelton was competing in it as a challenger in the barrel racing, and she had that yellow horse that she had kind of raised since a baby. I forget the horse's name. Anyway, I think Hallie Hansen maybe had led the barrel racing as a professional all year long. Came down to that final round, and unfortunately, I think Hallie hit barrel, and Rainey just made like a lights out run, right? And so there you had that challenger barrel racer, that aspiring young, soon-to-be professional, win $60,000 in the world championship at the time, and kind of stunk for the Hansons, but it was pretty special to see the format of the event basically allow the best woman to win. And it's competition like that is great in any sporting event, but it was really special that year. So in 2024, Women's Rodeo World Championship returns to AT&T Stadium. I think something that's really special about that is, one, in the midst of pandemic and coming out of COVID, and the PBR, let us, if you will, showcase these women in AT&T Stadium. But there was a wealth of circumstances around that was really the only option. And now in 2024, with World Finals moving back into AT&T and PBR extending that invite back to the women to come, participate along with them. I think the women of rodeo will tell you that there are other entities keeping them off the biggest stages or out of the buildings, you know what I mean? And PBR is embracing that and putting them up on that pedestal in one of the biggest, largest sporting venues on the face of the earth, right? And so I think it's just special that the Women's Rodeo World Championship has been able to put the ladies in, these circumstances on this major stage, if you will. And I think it's just huge that we're going back to AT&T. I think it's huge for women's rodeo, and it's huge for those ladies, and it's going to be a tremendous media opportunity for the event as well. So it's pretty exciting, and we're grateful for the PBR to allow us the opportunity to be on this platform. So I think originally the mission of the Women's Rodeo World Championship was to make rodeo better and to serve a group of people that were underserved. And so I think a short 5 years in feels like forever ago, but I think we're still on point for that mission. I think we're seeing the supportive growth and participation from the women. We're able to grow the event, for instance, going back into AT&T Stadium. So we continue to push the envelope, and the women of our sport and the fans continue to support the event. So I think that we're still on point, and I think the continuance of that mission is to continue to make rodeo better for women and continue to provide them additional earning opportunities and expand, with a new tier coming in 2025, expand the opportunities for women. So I think we're still making rodeo better and providing new and unique opportunities for women in particular. Describe the Women's Rodeo World Championship in one word: opportunity. Serving an underserved, paying a boatload of money, the biggest media platforms possible. I just think it equals opportunity for the ladies out there, and that's pretty cool.